Welcome everyone to our session on digital first sustainability, arguably our most important session of the day. In this session, we want to explore how IT leaders can take a digital first approach to ESG and particularly our collective carbon impact. Now for Logicalis, building a sustainable business and committing to the communities we operate in is a key part of our strategy. And as we heard earlier from IDC, 82% of chief executives agree that digital technology investments will significantly drive their ability to meet ESG goals. I believe technology can solve many of the challenges that we're facing in reducing the effects of climate change, but like any change problem, it takes vision, leadership, and universal backing to bring it to a reality. So I've invited Charissa Jagannath, our Head of Responsible Business, and Toby Alcock, our Chief Technology Officer, to join me in a discussion on how to move forward with our digital first sustainability and share how we're tackling this issue within Logicalis. So welcome both and thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Bob. It's great to be here.
Thanks, Bob.
Now, Charissa, ESG has become increasingly important over the last couple of years. Was there a notable turning point in it becoming a boardroom issue?
Well, Bob, the rapid growth and focus on sustainability in the boardroom is as a result of a multitude of pressures on corporations over the last few years, in line with a notable rise in awareness of the importance of sustainability amongst the general public. Environmental, social, and corporate governance, or ESG, are buzzwords in business at the moment. Regulators, clients, customers, analysts, investors, and even employees are increasingly aware of the role that businesses have in adding value to the world through their responsibility to be environmentally conscious, to positively support society and communities, and to work from a platform of ethical business and strong corporate governance. As this collective consciousness around sustainability and climate change has grown, regulators and investors have come to the table to demand that corporations do better in the space of ESG, and consumers and employees are no less demanding of corporates. We know that 62% of customers want companies to take a stand on issues linked to sustainability, and research shows that visibly responsible businesses do better at attracting talent, at engaging employees, and at retaining them. So after years of paying lip service to environmental and social impacts, we are now seeing corporate organizations making bolder commitments to ESG than ever before, and climate change and carbon emissions are a significant piece of this puzzle.
Toby, ESG is shaping up to be one of the most significant issues of our lifetime. To what extent do you think the technology industry needs to play a part in solving these challenges?
I think the tech sector needs to do more than just play a part. As we heard in our CIO panel earlier, we have the responsibility to understand these challenges and then apply technology to solving them. Never before have we had so much at our disposal, technology that we only dreamed of 10 years ago. With the power of cloud, we can bring big data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and many other capabilities to help solve these challenges. And we're already applying them to create significant change to help businesses innovate and grow. And so we can use these same tools and platforms to minimizing the impact on the environment. So digital plays a key role. The good news is if you've migrated to the cloud from a data center, you're already getting carbon efficiencies, but there's more that we can do. We can leverage new programs from vendors to look at the circular economy of technology and electronics to ensure that waste is minimized through the whole life cycle. And we can apply technology to continue to solve these business challenges.
That's great, thanks. And we heard earlier from IDC that 75% of digital infrastructure RFPs will require vendors to prove progress on sustainability initiatives with data. How does that compare to the conversations that you're having with our global customers?
Well, Bob, the conversation has definitely changed over the past 12 to 18 months. It started with seeing the new ways of working that are far more carbon friendly for our planet, but also around the time that the UN Climate Change Conference in Glasgow, CDP 26, was held, A damning report from IPCC was released, and the headline was, "Our current economic system is incompatible with life." And that can't help but hit home as to how important this is. Since then, we've seen a whole new set of values emerging, and organisations aren't waiting to be mandated by their governments. Their employees and their stakeholders are demanding the action immediately. And the change is being driven by these responsible businesses first, and that will no doubt flow into government policy over the coming years. But what I'm hearing from CIOs all around the world is that sustainability is an imperative, but many just don't know how to get started. The great news is we have the technology solutions that can provide visibility to organisations so they know where they're at. And we can report to their suppliers today. And as we heard from IDC, this is critical to be able to win business with our customers, as ESG is becoming that key measure for choosing a supplier. We've got a great opportunity as technology leaders to lead the way with all these tools at our disposal more than ever before.
Thanks, Toby. Now, Charissa, in many of my recent meetings with customer CIOs and digital leaders, in doing business with Logicalis, they want to know how we are holding ourselves and our supply chain accountable for carbon emissions. So how are we doing on that front?
We're doing great on this front, Bob. Over the past 12 months, we've really accelerated our sustainability journey. We've set out some very ambitious sustainability goals, and our roadmap for the next 3 years is designed to take Logicalis to a new level of sustainability and to truly position our organization as a leading responsible business. Developing a better understanding of our carbon emissions and managing and reducing them is a priority for Logicalis. In the coming year, we have committed to at least one environmental project implemented in every country that Logicalis operates in. That means there will be 27 new environmental projects to help us reduce our emissions or water use or waste generation as examples. Some of our 3-year targets for the group include recycling a minimum of 50% of the waste generated by our operations and having 75% of our operations powered by renewable energy. And one of the goals I'm most thrilled to share is that by 2025, Logicalis globally will be Scope 1 and 2 carbon neutral.
Well, that's a great goal. Thank you. And I know every person around the group is energized by our commitments here. But how are we measuring and providing visibility to our stakeholders on our carbon counts?
Well, Bob, this year we have had all of our regions report into the Carbon Disclosure Project for the first time, giving us a baseline for understanding our carbon emissions as a group. We're also about to embark on a significant piece of work to fully evaluate the emissions linked to our supply chain, and we intend to use the outputs of these projects to develop a publicly available carbon reduction plan and set science-based emissions and net zero targets for Logicalis for the longer term. We're really excited to continue to share these plans and our progress with all of our stakeholders. As part of the DataTech Group, we have committed to the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures and are in the process of becoming a signatory to the United Nations Global Compact. We are preparing to align our next annual report to the Global Reporting Initiative, and our plans include the development of a Logicalis Responsible Business Report that will provide a complete and comprehensive picture of our responsible business journey for all of our stakeholders.
Thanks, Charissa. Once again, that's great news. Toby, back to you. How are we helping our customers to understand their own carbon impacts with our solutions and proactively helping them to minimize this?
We're spending a lot of time on this in the CTO office and also getting feedback from our customers, Bob. We want to ensure that our brightest minds are being used to innovate not just for profit, but also for the future of our planet, and helping our customers transform not just digitally, but environmentally as well. So we're currently working on a solution that's based on the Microsoft Emissions Impact Dashboard, as well as other technology from our key partners, including Cisco. And this new solution provides visibility in the form of carbon scoring as part of their technology stack, as well as analytics to provide recommendations over time to reduce this impact. Some of the key data points that we're collecting and scoring include power save by shutting down unused services or equipment, reducing carbon impact by migrating existing architecture components to cloud or to SaaS, quantifying the impact of upgrading those old devices for more efficient new solutions, and realising savings by enabling efficiency settings in the services and equipment. As with the cloud, these digital platforms also help to create a platform for innovation as well.
Love it, Toby. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Last question to both of you. What advice would you give to CIOs starting out on their journey to explore the digital first approach to carbon neutral? Toby, you first.
Thanks, Bob. The advice I would give would be to first and foremost benchmark where you are today from a technology perspective, and then work with the tools and organisations who can help you make improvements from that baseline. The demand to reduce the impact of carbon is only going to increase, so starting to think about your impact of your carbon footprint is essential today. IT has the skills and the technology to lead the world in carbon neutral changes.
Okay, thanks, Toby. And what's your perspective, Teresa?
Bob, I'd advise companies to start with some key initiatives that are universally important, then work to establish a network of advocates. Don't underestimate how important this is to people, and you will have an army of helpers. I think it's really important to get executive commitment and buy-in. The big things that move the needle requires buy-in, investment, and a step change to get off the ground. And finally, it's essential to talk about your success and milestones. People really get excited to see change.
Thank you so much, Teresa and Toby. Great tips there from discussing our own journey to becoming a sustainable business, as well as how we're helping our customers to get started. Key takeouts from me. Number one, we all have the motive and the means in technology to make a real impact to the environment, and we should be leading the charge. Number two, there are tools to monitor and measure the carbon impact of technology solutions out there today. Talk to Logicalis or your trusted partner on where to get started. And number three, I'd say finally, the road to carbon neutral is a path we all need to be on. So to make your program more effective, get executive buy-in and investment, create a network of advocates, and keep people motivated by sharing your success along the way. I'd now like to hand over to Katrina Walkerden, VP of Global Marketing. Katrina will host our final session of the CIO Summit, the Digital First CIO, with strategic partners Cisco and Microsoft. Kat, over to you.